Hey there, fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're back talking about some of the fantastic food you can have in America. And today we're going to focus on is food in the South. Now, we're here in Savannah, Georgia, the hostess city, and we just had a magnificent lunch with the boys and Jocelyn and I. We had fried chicken, collard greens, cornbread, sweet tea, lemonade, cobbler, all kinds of great food when you do come here. And so I want to give you an idea of the things you should eat when you do come to the South, because my goodness, for overall food pop, the South is the place to go in the U.S. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, though, is you can tell it's a pretty hot one out here today, so you're probably going to get thirsty. So we're going to start with the drinks this time. And what you should know is here in the South, you drink sweet tea, okay? Not tea with sugar. Oh, no. That is something different, okay? Sweet tea is the quintessential Southern drink when you come down here. When you go someplace, you just ask for tea, it will be sweet. Because if you talk to a Southerner, the only good place for unsweet tea is down the drain, okay? So sweet tea is a must when you're here. And if you don't like sweet tea, well, there's also lemonade. That's another big one when you're here. And that's two of the best ways to beat the heat when you are here in the South. Also, Coke is a really big thing here. And you might notice when you go around the U.S., sometimes they'll say, oh, what kind of soda do you like? Or what kind of pop do you like? Or what kind of soda pop do you like? In the South, sometimes you'll just hear, hey, what kind of Coke do you want? Well, like, I don't want Dr. Pepper. Okay. You know, it's just Coke is another way to say soda when you are down here. Now, if you're looking for a bit more of a adult version of your drink when you come here, remember the three things we like to drink here in the South: beer, bourbon, and whiskey with an E on it, okay? So those are the three things most, kind of alcoholic drinks you're gonna have when you're down here. And the thing is, one of the Southern drinks that people like to get is a mint julep. And the thing is, if you like bourbon, go for it. If you do not like bourbon, realize that it's like a glass of bourbon with a little bit of like a little tiny bit of simple syrup, like a sweetener, and some mint leaves, and that's what it is. So it's a really powerful pop of bourbon. So if you're not a big bourbon fan, maybe try a different drink out there. I know Jocelyn was a waitress down here in Savannah for a number of years, and people from the north would come down and be like, hey, I want a mint julep. And she's like, you might want to try something else because it is an acquired taste. So I just want to give the heads up for you for that. So those are your drink options. Now the thing is, if we're going to start off our day, you want to start off your day right with a good breakfast. And here in the South, you will eat breakfast very well. And actually, there's bunches of just breakfast restaurants that are just open for breakfast. You go there, yes, for the pancakes and the biscuits and gravy and the grits and the eggs and bacon and these kind of things. And you will have those. And that's like a quintessential part of eating in the South, is having a really big breakfast, or at least one of the days you're here, go to one of those breakfast places, have biscuits and gravy. And I talk about, biscuits, how they're very important in Southern cuisine, whether it's a side dish, whether it's a breakfast, whether it's something with a meal. Biscuits are amazing here in the South because the flour is a bit different. So even if you have biscuits in the North, they will be very different here in the South, okay? So definitely have that, but biscuits and gravy are great, but probably the quintessential Southern breakfast food is grits. I know that you might have oatmeal or cream of wheat or something like that. It's like related to those things, but it's made out of hominy, which is a kind of corn. And so when you have that, you have it for breakfast, but you can have it for lunch, dinner, all kinds of times. But that is one of the key things, is having that bowl of grits with your eggs and bacon. Always important to have bacon when you're here, or your pancakes and stuff like that, okay? I will add a little something on that breakfast one. If you are in New Orleans, you've got to go and get yourself a beignet, the fried donuts you have there with the powdered sugar. It's a must when you're in New Orleans, but you'll see those kind of fried donuts lots of places. If you're looking for a quick breakfast here in the South and you see a Krispy Kreme donuts and their red sign is flashing open, stop. Get a dozen of their hot donuts. Believe me, you'll thank me later. You might say, well, I want to try some of these other ones. No. Krispy Kreme original, when they're hot or they're warm, you're going to love it. So definitely have that when you're looking at your breakfast. So you finish your breakfast. Well, now we're out and about, we're exploring. We might want a snack. And my quintessential snack of the South are hot boiled peanuts. Oh man, this is something. The first time I came down here, I went with Jocelyn. She was living here. And I went to the Piggly Wiggly, the grocery store by her house. And I went in and they handed me this styrofoam cup full of wet peanuts and they're hot. I'm like, what is this? They're like, oh, it's boiled peanuts. I'm like, oh, okay, what do I do? I'm like, oh, eat them. So I just pop in my mouth, shoot up and swallow them back. That was kind of tough. And Jocelyn goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. They're hot-boiled peanuts. They're soft. What do I do? Look, hot-boiled peanuts, they take these green peanuts that are in the shell and they boil them with some spices and stuff. Oh man, and the peanuts really suck that flavor in the water. And then when after it's been boiled for a long time, they get so soft. And what you do is you take one, you kind of suck it in your mouth and pop it, and then you open it up like a normal peanut shell, and then you eat the insides. And the peanuts actually inside will be soft, and they are so good. And the thing is, you don't find them everywhere, but you'll find them maybe at a gas station, or if there's a bait shop, or sometimes the grocery store kind of things. You will find those, but yes, having a plastic bag of boiled peanuts while you're going down the highway, man, that is some snack you have to have when you're here. Now, some other things I want to talk about is, look, you want to go have lunch. You want to have your main meal of the day, right? And so the main meals you're going to have when you are here in the South, yes, fried chicken. They call it fried chicken down here, but if you travel everywhere around the U.S., they say Southern fried chicken. Look, fried chicken in the South is phenomenal. That is one thing you have to have when you're down here because it is way better than things you have anywhere else. Don't get me wrong, I love my mom's fried chicken, but man, I come down to the South, Sisters of the New South, I go there every time we come. Oh my God, their fried chicken is so good, but you'll have that amazing fried chicken here. But the thing is, there's a lot of other dishes you can have. If in your New Orleans, you're going to the Louisiana area, you have jambalaya and gumbo, kind of these stews with rices and stuff like that, and sausages and meats. You have those things. But probably the quintessential, I know I keep using that word a lot, but for some reason that's in my head today. Probably the most popular thing to have from the South is barbecue. And one of the things with barbecue is a lot of people think, oh, barbecue, you mean the grill outside? They grill the meat? No, no, no. Barbecue is smoked meat, okay? And it could be, brisket, it could be pork, pork, beef, chicken, whatever. They smoke it for hours, like 7-8 hours. They're smoking it there. So the ribs, the meat will fall off the bone. It's so good. The pulled pork, the pork is falling apart, so they shred that up. You have that in a pulled pork sandwich or by itself. And you will have that. And it's just an amazing thing to have because, barbecue places are popular around the U.S. But when you come to the South, it is a different kind of culture. And that's the thing is, the food culture in the South isn't just about food. It's about the culture of eating here in the South. Spending hours hanging out with your friends, talking to them, eating with them, drinking with them. That's how it works down here. And barbecue is a great example of something that brings everybody together to share some great stuff. Burnt ends, oh my goodness, it's fantastic. And there's all kinds of other main dishes you can have aside from barbecue. Chicken and dumplings, oh my goodness. You get kind of like the biscuity stuff with the chicken together in this kind of stew kind of thing. Oh, it is so good. Or you can go out and have seafood when you are here, whether it is shrimp or oysters. Oh, if you can go to an oyster roast when it's in season, it's phenomenal. If you're looking for a sandwich when you're here, get an oyster po' boy or a shrimp po' boy. Oh my goodness, it's like fried shrimp or fried oysters on top of a sandwich. Oh my God, it is so good in a big like baguette kind of thing. Oh man, you can't pass that up when you're here. And the thing is, you have so much seafood when you are here. Soft-shell crab, shrimp, oysters, fish, flounder, grouper, all kinds of great fish you can have here in the South. When you're looking for your shrimp and grits, hey, bring those grits into dinner time. You're gonna love it. And one of the things I really like to do, you have something special here in Savannah, in the Low Country. They have a Low Country boil, which is, shrimp and sausage and potatoes and corn, all cooked together with spices. You dump it out on the table. You eat from there. Louisiana, you have a crawfish boil or a crayfish boil, however you want to say it. You have that. There's so many great meals you can have here that it's hard for me to list them all because you will do fine, whether it's ribs, or it's barbecue or whatever. There's really great main dishes when you are here. And the thing is, you might want to say, well, okay, the main dishes are great, but what about what comes on the side? Because those are the things that can really shine in the South. Well, some of the really big ones, mac and cheese, homemade macaroni and cheese. Oh my God, you can't pass that up if you get a chance to have that. Yes, you have your mashed potatoes and gravy kind of stuff, but red beans and rice is another great side. If you're looking for some vegetables, collard greens. It's like a leafy vegetable that they'll saute with a little bit of bacon. Oh my God, it's to die for. Coleslaw, shredded cabbage, and it'll either be like in a vinegar sauce or a mayonnaise sauce. These kind of things, also super good. The ones my kids love the most for the sides that are out there, you bring your biscuits back, right? You got your biscuit on the side, you have that. Or you'll have cornbread, which is, it's a bread made out of corn. You just pick a little bit off, eat that while you go. A very popular dish they kind of put on the side when you go there. And the thing is you can eat these things all day long, but we can't stop just with our corn and our cornbread and our biscuits. There's other sides you want to try when you are here. Now, if the cornbread and biscuits aren't enough to you, there's another kind of a bready kind of thing you can have when you're here as a side, and they're called hush puppies. Basically what you're doing is you're taking that kind of cornmeal, cornbread kind of stuff. You're not baking it. What you're doing is you're coating it and then you're frying it up. You serve that a lot of times with fish and fish dishes. Oh, it is just awesome down here. And you really should know, like people talk about the holy trinity of cooking and stuff like that. For me, the holy trinity of cooking in the South, mayonnaise, either Duke's or Blue Plate, not Hellman's, okay? 2, bacon, and 3, it's fried, okay? You do have that. Now, what are some other things you want to have when you're here? If you're looking at desserts, because my God, cobbler and pie here in the South is a fantastic dessert option. But the thing is, if you have pie or cobbler and there's fruit in it, you can also double that as a side. And then you can have like peach cobbler for a side with your fried chicken and then have a piece of key lime pie for dessert. That is how it works here, okay? But if you're looking for traditional desserts, like I said, pies and cobblers are very popular things here. Obviously a peach cobbler, which is basically like the crust kind of runs through the glob of stuff, whereas a pie is encased. The pies that are popular here, key lime pie, it's obviously a lime pie, which is really nice. Mississippi mud pie, if you like kind of like a crumbly, chocolatey, gooey pie, that's another good one here. But the thing is any kind of fruit pies, whether it's apples or cherries or whatever, you will have a lot of homemade pies and cakes when you're here. So do experiment with some of those. Have that dessert, because even though you'll be so full, the desserts just kind of top things off. If you're looking for kind of like a snacky dessert thing, you have moon pies, which are really popular, which is like a marshmallow filling in the middle, then 2 graham crackers, and then it's covered in chocolate. That's one of the ones my kids always get when we come down here. We'll pick them up at the gas station or at the store just so the kids have some. And it is a nice snack for the kids and for the adults as well. And there are other kind of desserts you might have. Banana pudding is very popular, but I think probably the most important one to have is pecan pie. When you come here to the South, you'll see pecans all over the place. These nuts, dude, you're gonna eat them a lot, and it might be made into a praline, which is like the nuts and sugar all mixed together, kind of snack candy. But having a piece of pecan pie, which is pecans on top and then a gooey goodness and the pie shell on the bottom, that is the piece of pie you really should have when you do come to the South. And it is phenomenal, okay? And we're gonna finish off with the starters, actually. And if you're looking at things you might wanna start with or snack on when you do come here, yes, there are a lot of fried things you wanna have, but probably the best fried one, fried green tomatoes. Green tomatoes are young tomatoes, so they're firm, and they coat them in a batter and fry them. Oh, it's a must. Or you might have fried okra, that kind of slimy vegetable they slice up and fry it. That's also really good. Other starters you might have, chicken wings, we all love those around the US. That's also very popular. If you're on the coast, you might have buffalo shrimp, like fried shrimp or something like that to start off with. Maybe some deviled crab or deviled eggs, which is boiled eggs. Then you take the middle, grind it up with mayonnaise, of course, and some other stuff, and put it back in there, and you eat that. Oh, it is just amazing. Another fried starter my son really likes, my oldest one, fried pickles. Little pickle slices, they fry them up, you eat them like that. Oh, you can't pass that up. And of course, you always have your biscuits, or the cornbread might actually come as a starter instead of an appetizer. And the thing is, I'm only giving you a few suggestions of some of the food you can have here in the South. There's tons of regional differences. So if you're going to North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, wherever you're, Texas, wherever you're going, they're going to have different stuff they focus on. And so make sure you ask when you go there. Yes, in New Orleans, jambalaya and gumbo and beignets. Here in Savannah, a low country boil and barbecue, you have that. And so you have these regional differences, and make sure you kind of exploit those when you go there to see those things. And sometimes it's just the sauces that are different. If you're looking at barbecue, if you get North Carolina barbecue sauce, it's like a vinegar-based one. South Carolina, it's mustard-based. Here in Georgia, it's very sweet. And you have these regional differences that you really should take advantage of when you travel in the South, because there's so much to see, so much beauty and so many wonderful people, but also so much wonderful food to have. So remember your manners when you come here to eat all the food. Don't start eating until everyone sits down. You get that chair for that grandma over there, and you have a great time eating, because it is fantastic eating in the Southern USA. Bye from Savannah.